modern tunes on the issues of zoning and rotation of power in 2023 as aspirants continue to pull the weight across the different regions. And the jostle for the chairmanship seat of the APC continues, with some of the aspirants speaking on their ambition. Tonight, we can get yet another aspirant. Stay with us throughout on the program. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the program. This is Politics Today, live on Channels Television. I'm Sean Kimbale. Well, before we get into our major discussion tonight, because I have two personalities for you that you need to listen to on the different topics that we shall be discussing, and mostly on the mainstream politics of Nigeria. But before we get into the mix of things, let me allow you to watch your political roundup stories.
The Senate is asking the federal government to urgently send fighter jets to flush out terrorists who are behind the kidnappings and killings of Nigerians. The Senate is making this request during Wednesday's plenary session while considering a point of order on the urgent need for the federal government to take drastic actions to bring an end to the act of banditry kidnapping in Faskari local government area of Katsina State. Few years after returning back to their ancestral homes, a fire incident has destroyed 103 internally displaced persons' houses at Konduga settlements, a distance of 25 kilometers away from Maiduguri, the Borno state capital. Although no life was lost or injuries sustained, Governor Babagana Zulum, represented by the Commissioner of Rehabilitation, Reconstruction and Resettlement, reveals that emergency shelters would be provided to fix the structures. And back to the National Assembly, a bill seeking to raise punishments for insider fraud by bank employees to a 20-year jail term has passed second reading in the House of Representatives. The bill, sponsored by Representative Francis Wave, also seeks a yearly review of assets of bank employees to check fraud. The bill will also clearly define bank employees to include board members and persons affiliated with banks. Anambra State Governor Willie Obiano has inaugurated a 10-member board of Anambra State Disability Rights Commission at the executive chambers of the Government House, Awka. Mr. Chuks Ezewuzie, a lawyer, special advisor to the governor on disability matters, is the chairman of the board. Inaugurating the board, Governor Obiano reminds them that the terms of reference that include generating effective policies that will boost government's commitment to effective protection of the rights and welfare of members of the disability community.
Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us right here on the program. Let's get right into it. The contest for Nigeria's #1 seat is getting more and more intense every day. As 2023 election draws closer, we are about a year exactly to the month of January election of 2023. Conversations like zoning, abilities of all of the aspirants and candidates who are jostling for the seat, and the character of who will be Nigeria's next president have become the contents of the debate so far. Zoning is a matter that has refused to leave the fray. Today, a former governor of Jigawa State, Alhaji Sule Lamido, is insisting that the next president of Nigeria should not be based on the zones of the candidates, who was speaking during a courtesy visit he made to the governor of Sokoto State, Aminu Tambuwa, who has also declared an intention to run for presidency in 2023. Alhaji Lamido berates anybody calling for the zoning of the presidency. Former Governor Lamido also threw his support behind the presidential aspirations of Governor Tambuwa. Let me allow you to listen to the Sokoto State Governor, Aminu Tambuwa.
We are aware and very concerned of the situation of the Nigerian state as it is today. Our unity has been bastardized. The country is almost, one can say, at the brink. I wouldn't want to conclude, but we are all very concerned. Patriotic Nigerians, leaders of this country, across parties, are concerned. The only people that are happy in Nigeria today are those who are benefiting from the confusion that is happening. Especially our leaders and statesmen, are very worried that Nigeria is drifting and drifting fast. And there's the need for us to come together, first as a party, to unite ourselves and present candidates for the office of the president that is competent and that will be, by the grace of God, a president of Nigeria and for Nigerians.
Well, you heard the governor of Sokoto State, Aminu Tambuwal. Tonight, we'll be speaking with my guest, but let me allow you to listen to what he said in Sokoto about issues of zoning. Let's take a listen to the former Jigawa State Governor, Sule Lamido.
We accept with grace that, we're old. And we want to make sure that we give Nigeria the kind of leader Nigeria deserves, not based on his own ethnic background or religion or zone, but then based on his own capacity and competence. We want a Nigerian leader and Nigerian president, not a leader of either the North or South. Therefore, this issue of zoning, to me, doesn't make it anymore. Zoning should not be an issue anymore in Nigeria. Those who are saying we must zone. When you say we must zone to the South, who are you giving orders? Who are you commanding? What you know is about, is about common understanding, coming together as people to understand each other, mutually agreeing on issues for the country. When you say it's our own time by necessity, then there'll be no Nigeria. So to me, we're looking for the best, and I think, as far as we're concerned, the material which will be able to lead this country is here now.
Sule Lamido there, former Jigawa State Governor and former Foreign Affairs Minister. Tonight, we have him on the program. He was governor of Jigawa State, and as early as 1999 was appointed by former President Olusegun Obasanjo as foreign minister. Lamido is not a stranger to controversies. He was governor of Jigawa State from 2007 and 2015. Lamido was one of the 12 candidates that ran for the PDP presidential nomination in November of 2018, alongside the likes of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and Ibrahim Donkwombo. Alhaji Sule Lamido joins me now live from our Kano studio. Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for joining us tonight. Give us a sense of the deeper meanings to what you are saying in Sokoto when you're saying that we should not consider zoning. But some of your critics, or the critics of what you said today, will say, look, you're saying this because you're from the northern region of the country. And now the North has had 8 years, at least will have 8 years after President Buhari's has concluded his tenure in 2023. And the question is it fair for you to come forward to say today, especially to some of Nigerians in the Southeast region who have been clamoring for presidency, that zoning should not be considered?
Sharon, thank you very much. Let me say that the issue of zoning has got a very, very clear history. I've been saying this over and over for the last how many years. And it's all about what happened in 1992 when June 12 was annulled. And because part of the country felt aggrieved that they were either shortchanged or cheated or they are unwanted, that's why June 12 was annulled. Not that, those who are really promoting June 12, believing in Abiola, the candidate, but then they believe in the cause of the June 12, not in the past of Abiola. I know they never liked him, and they'll never like him because of what he did to them during the MPN days when he vilified Awolo. Now, so when it was annulled, those who are nowhere near June 12, who are there only who were there on June 12, on June 11th, they are nowhere near June 12th. Let me repeat. On June 11th, they were nowhere near June 12th. They never took part in June 12th. They had no input in June 12th. They had no contribution in June 12th. Suddenly sprang up and then took June 12th as their own kind of personal commodity, their own personal, attainment. And then from there on, the DEC was formed. And of course, then the blackmail, the ill feeling and the division. And so by the time we came to form PDP in 1999, together, this issue of June 12 injury has to be healed. And again, I repeat, I've been saying over and over, I've been saying this. Let me repeat again. That you see, democracy is supposed to address and cure your need and cure your own problem, not to imprison you. And that's why I've been saying again that, even the America who claim to be the father of democracy, define democracy based on their own interest, not on any other person's interest. Their own sovereign interest. That's why, I've been saying in 1990, there were elections in Algeria, in North Africa. And a party there formed by the Muslim fundamentalists won the election. But because the Americans felt that particular political philosophy of the fundamentalists is not in tune with their own political interests, they got the whole thing truncated. And they installed Bouteflika. It's the same thing in Palestine, when Hamas won the election. The Americans refused to accept it. Hamas won a very, very clean and fair election. They won clean, but the America refused. The same thing in Egypt, when Morsi was also was elected. So it means really democracy is supposed to address the interest of the country, not any other foreign interest. So in Nigeria, also they know what do we do to make sure they know democracy serves Nigeria, cures our problem, and then reunites us. And that's why we say, look, we shall, for the purpose of getting peace, locate the presidency to the southwest. So they know a Yoruba candidate will emerge. So the problem will be appeased. That's what happened. And I have been saying again, in the wisdom of other political parties too, they followed the PDP example. And they put all their political candidates from the West. Then AD, who had Olufale as their own candidate, conducted their own convention and brought Olufale on APP platform and pushing Kafi, so his running mate, and then pulled out, Obono Omu. So the purpose of them was that all the candidates in Nigeria were from the West. So they know this, we felt that, would cure the feeling, the injury, and the division in Nigeria. And of course, Obasanjo became the president. And in 2 years' time, the country was thoroughly kind of unified. We were able to forgive each other and forge ahead. And therefore, there was peace, there was progress, there was love, there was unity. And therefore, there was human development. And there is no way you can develop, the country if there is no trust, if there is no understanding, if there is no safety, if there is no security. So this is what we did. So to me, the zoning at that time was for a purpose. I feel that after 22 years of democracy, after 3 presidents and now Buhari, the issue of then that injury is now gone. Whatever crisis we have today is not by the government, because June 12 was a government creation, was a government problem. So the government can't do a truncation. But then what we are going to do through Nigeria is through democracy, through the APC government, through Buhari. So whatever the division we have, it's purely political, it's not something caused by a government. That's why I say by now we should be thoroughly healed, thoroughly cured, and then begin to look for...
Elijah Lamido.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. If I may quickly come in here, I know you're one of those who are perhaps offended. It seems as much from what you said in Sokoto about the position of the southern governors at their meeting that the presidency must go to the south in 2023. But I take you probably, if you had the opportunity, you have the opportunity, we might go into the reasoning of the drafters of our constitution when they were talking about the issues of federal character and the fact that with the multiplicity of ethnic and religion and race in Nigeria, there's a need to spread wealth and there needs to equity and fairness and balance in the way we do things in the country. But I'd like to take you back to what you said earlier about the situation that led to the likes of Olusegun Obasanjo, the 1993 situation, and all of that. Some people will argue that Nigeria is perhaps having a similar temperature from those years where I'm not sure in our recent history if we've had this kind of intensity and tension in the land from different regions of the country. The Southeast have their own tension. The Southwest, there is a bit of the tension there. And so is it a good time for anyone, any political leader in Nigeria to then say, let's jettison the issue of zoning when you know that people are aggrieved and this is causing a lot of tension in the country?
Now, you see, Sean, again, let me repeat. The crisis we had, in 1992 was caused by the federal government, federal military government, which was then pretending the entire process of democracy. So they caused the problem. So the Nigerian people. Nigerian people voted when they went to the polls and voted their candidate of their own choice. But then the federal military government, annulled the elections. So it was a problem created by the government of Nigeria. This time around, we've in place a government, a president who has been popularly elected, Buhari, the most popular ever in maybe in Africa, popularly elected. And therefore, whatever we have now is in terms of crisis is a creation of political process of democracy, because this time around is a Buhari, Nigerian president, the APP, and their government, which are now creating the kind of problem of this division. It's not government. It's not government, per se. But it is Buhari and their own political party. So it's not a creation of the process of democracy by Nigerian people on their own, not government. So it means, for how long do we continue to be kind of, blackmailed and held hostage of zoning? When are we going to have the kind of Nigerian president for all Nigerians? So if the crisis today is caused by Nigeria, therefore Nigeria should be able to say, once for its look, as far as concerned, and like I say, the issue of zoning was a one-time thing which was designed to address and heal a particular problem, which will be healed. We are now fully reconciled. We are now fully united now. The action of the government today is not causing these kind of divisions. So if you got a very good leader, a Nigerian leader for each and every Nigerian, for each and every religion, for each and every ethnic group, who will be there with the human commitment, with the human heart, with the empathy, with the love, the concern, the care for Nigeria, then Nigeria will rally around him, and then we'll move ahead. But when you say, again, governor meetings say, they're on time. Now look at Edwin Kilak, a 93-year-old man, coming to begin to create problem for Nigeria, for the younger generation. So what I'm saying, let us forward for at least, if we the elders are the whole problem, let us give it, let's look for the kind of person who will be there for Nigeria, for all Nigeria, and for me, wherever he comes from, he can come from even you, Shewa, if you want. You can be there. Anybody who would be there for Nigeria is the one I'm going to support. And for now, those who came out, I've seen some vote, because people say we are too old. Myself, they say we are too old. Fair enough. Among the younger generation, whom do we normally, really kind of, guide? Whom do we put into the who can guide into restore Nigeria, reconcile us, and then so that we can play our role in the community of nations.
All right.
Nigeria is a very, very serious country. Yeah, go ahead.
Let me again take you up on this. And I'm looking at this, and I'd like you to probably help me with a pointed answer to this question, because there is a follow-up to that. Now, is there a consensus amongst northern leaders and the political elites in the north about the way to go? Is there some kind of decision that the northern elites or the northern political elites have agreed that they want presidency in the north in 2023?
I don't believe in regional consensus, either for the south or southeast or north, either for Muslims. I believe in the Nigerian consensus. Those who are making this kind of, those who are collaborating for this kind of call are not the active politicians. There are people who are really outside the arena, who are watching from outside. I want people who are in the arena, who are in the same political party, share the same vision, the same feeling, the same philosophy, who believe in Nigeria to come together and then come with a Nigerian consensus. I don't believe in either regional or tribal consensus. So those who are talking about, and that's why, the Afeni Ferries, and Elder Adebanjo and Parkila, these are people who are not active politically. These are people who are simply outside the arena, who are looking at things based on their own kind of interest. But then I want, the Yorubas in the north, in the south, in the east, in the Hausa, the Fulani, the Christians, come together as in political parties, either in PDP or AD or ABGA, sit down as political parties, which are there for all Nigeria, and then discuss with you, and come up with a national consensus, not a regional consensus. I don't believe in that kind of thing. I want a national consensus. So whatever
let me ask you, it does,
yeah?
As a matter of elimination, it does look like you are out of the scheme of things, because we've you threw your weight behind Governor Tambuwal today. That means that we should not put your name, or we should not consider you as a possible hopeful for that the presidential race in 2023. But tell us, you think, because you've thrown your weight behind Aminu Tambuwal today, it does mean that there's something that you have seen in that man that makes you think that is the best man for the job. What exactly is it?
I don't quite get the question correct. I don't know what I mean. Please ask what the question
So
again.
I was
What is the
saying
question
that
again, precisely?
with the factor of elimination, it does look that you have automatically eliminated yourself in the race, because your name has come up when people were talking about hopefuls for the presidential race. Or you threw your weight behind Aminu Tambuwal today. That means that you are out of the scheme of things. So give us a sense of what you saw in Aminu Tambuwal that makes you think that is perhaps the best man for the job.
Well, I hope I got your question correct. You see, Aminu Tambuwal is the one who now came to me. There are many others who are equally or eminently qualified to be, to be a flag bearers in both North and South. So I'm going to come to me, and based on what I've seen so far, I feel, because if you remove us, who the older generation, who are being called the analog, because we're 70 years plus, fair enough, now we've been shut out. Therefore, among the younger generation, those who I've seen so far, by their pedigree, by their political experience, this is the guy I think now can do it if we give the support. But then, however, this will say that nobody can come out from any part of the country again. So if anybody come out from the South or East or anywhere, we look at him first, and then we find, and then we look at him between him, Tambo, and others, who is the best for Nigeria? What is the best for Nigeria, for best for Sulamido? The best for Nigeria, the kind of person who will be there for each and every Nigerian, not what will happen. Because if you put on people based on their area of where they come from, either from their own geographical area, or based on ethnicity or region, then it means you'll be there for that particular area, for that region, not for Nigeria. What we want for the first time is, please, like we had in 1999 under Obasanjo, we want a Nigerian president for each and every Nigerian. That's what I'm saying. So anybody that can come out, either come from the south or the east, so be it. Then we'll look at it, and then if we're going to form a consensus, there should be a national consensus, not a regional consensus. So those who are there in the south, I would say it's our own turn, or it must be our own turn. Those in the south, it must be our own turn. Those in the south, look, what I'm saying, it must be Nigeria's turn, Nigeria's time. Not anybody again, because we've built this for too long. When are we going to move from this, this emotional, sentimental kind of, political gimmick, and then begin to look at Nigerian problem? Because the Nigerian problem of insecurity, poverty, illiteracy is a national problem. People in the south are very, very poor. In the creeks, they're very, very poor. There is insecurity, so nobody is safe. See, life is it has to be human life, not another life or some other life. What do we do to put somebody in place who will be able to look at Nigeria and say, holistically, and say, look, I am there for Nigeria and I will die for Nigeria. And they shut this kind of, tribal, warlords. That's what I'm saying.
So let me get your view, because I know you are a very loyal member of the PDP. And as much you've spoken so well about the PDP and its ability to govern this country. But that has been put to test over the last 2 elections. Some will say that your party has been given a bloody nose that it's been finding difficult to recover from. And perhaps your party lost that PR in terms of governance, based on what the APC had told Nigerians, that your party ran this nation aground. Now we're going into another election. Do you think that Nigeria have any kind of belief again in the PDP as a platform or an alternative that Nigerians should be looking forward to?
Well, again, I hope I got to, because the system here is not very, very clear. So I'm just trying to guess what you ask me, and let me answer you. I'm just guessing. You see, how do I say? Because I don't get the question very, very clearly, to be honest, so that I'll be able to also address and give you a precise answer. So please repeat again the question.
Okay, so let me go over it again. Can you, Excellency? Can you hear me now? Is it clear, a bit?
I can
Is it
hear you
better
now.
now?
Look, I can hear you.
Oh, perfect. So let me go again. I said you are one loyal member of the PDP. You've spoken as much in support of the PDP. But your party has been given bloody nose in the general election twice by Muhammadu Buhari and his party APC. Now, the APC have told Nigerians that your party ran this nation aground. They said your party stole the funds of this country, and that's why the military could not even perform the job of securing this country, and that the economy was run aground by your party. Now, the PR of your party largely was dented by some of these conversations. The question is that going into 2023, do you hope or think that Nigerians can believe in a party that the APC had said ran this nation aground when you say you want to come back to power?
Look, Segun, it's about to become very serious. And that it takes the issue of politics very, very serious because you're talking about the life of a nation. Is standing, its sovereignty and its future of our generation. So let us shun away this kind of, this blackmail, this propaganda of lies. I mean, the APC which came and said we spoiled everything. I mean, compare today and what we were under PDP. I would the same thing. I'm being very, very honest. You see, when we begin to pin on this, AP said this, AP said that, they will not move anywhere because they came on a program of lies. They are able to promote hate, divide Nigerians, divide families. They went into a house between a father and a son, between a neighbor and a neighbor, brother and a brother, sister and a sister, north and south, east and west, religion. I mean, so the country was literally divided and shattered and destroyed. And they kept on telling lies. We are thieves. We are this. Take the issue of subsidy. I mean, Buhari, who was the former head of state, former petroleum minister, would look at Nigeria and say that subsidy is a fraud. He said so because they were looking for the votes. Now, in trying to pursue political leadership, there are some things we should not say. We must have something called moral benchmark. We must have something called moral benchmark. If we can say anything and they promote anything, whether falsehood or true, then we can't get it right. So whatever APC did in the life, before they came to power, they are all pure lies. All of them, they are all pure lies. I mean, tell me one single thing APC did, one single thing. They say for PDP for 16 years have not done anything in Nigeria. Nothing. The railway between Lagos and Ibadan is owned by PDP. The railway between Kaduna and Abuja is owned by PDP. The airport all over now, which were built by this girl, Odwa, in Kano, in Lagos, all over in Abuja, is owned by PDP. It's PDP. But they are claiming it. So what I'm saying, why don't we for once, begin to behave as leaders? And then begin to look at the issues which will unite us and which will make the country develop. Now, if you keep on saying PDP has done this, what are we going to do? They will simply dancing on the same spot. Let us move away from this, culture of propaganda, culture of lies, and then be serious so that the younger generation who are watching us, because you see, whatever we're doing now, or say, those who are under 30s are watching us. And they draw their inspiration and take their own bearings from us. If we do the wrong thing, by the time they are 50, 60, they will do the same thing. So let us forward for their sake. Let's save Nigeria. I mean, Buhari, myself, Nigeria has been there for us. Nigeria has been, see what I'm saying?
We're due for a break in
less than for all of us.
Yeah. Alhaji Lamido, we're due for a break in less than 60 seconds, but I wanted to ask you just this very quick question. If you can answer it in about 40 seconds, then we'll come back and conclude with you. But the question is, there are those who are debating in your party that the likes of Atiku Abubakar and some of the old ends should step aside. And in fact, that conversation became so heated that anyone that beyond the age of a certain age should not get into the fray. What is your view about that, just quickly?
About our age, our own age, who are over 70.
Absolutely. Yes.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, but you see, it is younger people like you, Shehu, people like you. If people like you, Shehu, people like you, who are saying that we don't want old men, we want younger generation. That is what you've been saying. So it means now you're going to have the younger generation. If we people who are in 70 plus are not that required in this country, we're willing to withdraw because we can make every sacrifice for people like you and others who are under 60 to be there. That's what they say to me. I will do anything. I will sacrifice anything, my ambition, my aspiration for this country to grow. So it is the value of the young people that those over 60 should not contest. Fair enough, we agree. If you are trying to I agree, but then you see, you are also not going to enjoy and maybe benefit from our own wisdom, from our own experiences, from our own exposure. I mean, there are a number of things which we can add up, in terms of value in governance and government. We can do it. But then you say you don't want us. So what do we do?
Yeah.
We give you away.
I'm not one of them, though, because what I do, I'm joining the likes of the umpire to stand on the fence and try to help the system better as we go into this transition period. Well, we take a break, and when we come back, our concluding moments with you. Stay with me, Alhaji Sule Lamido. We take a break, and when we come back, also one of the aspirants in the APC chairmanship race, Saliu Mustafa, is my next guest. After we conclude with Alhaji Sule Lamido, we shall be looking at the task of leading Nigeria's ruling party. Stay with us, everyone. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us. Our concluding moments with the former Jigawa State Governor and former Minister of Foreign Affairs, Alhaji Sule Lamido, who's been speaking with us from our Kano studio. I have two quick questions for you, Alhaji Lamido, before you go. One being the fact that today, Nigerians are looking forward to the kind of leadership that will take us to the next level, or that will take us forward economically and in every aspect of life. Can you give us an idea of the qualities we should be expecting and the kind of character that we should be expecting as Nigeria's #1 citizen come 2023?
You mean the process of selecting him? The process or what?
I'm saying, how do we know the best man for the job if we see one?
Fine. There are the number of criteria. First, the political parties which are going to hold the convention to elect their candidates must divorce the old history of turning conventions into a human trade affair. And which means also the Nigerian people who are going there to go as delegates must have something called integrity in them, so they know they don't go there to look for money. Because the way things are today, in the last couple of years, through this convention, they've been turned into human trade affair. And the people becoming articles for purchase. And so naturally, you don't get the best candidate with that kind of arrangement. So one, the political parties must stand up and have some kind of benchmark in terms of character and conduct and the morality. Two, the Nigerian people also who are going to go to the candidates must also make sure that when they go there for their country, not for their own ephemeral interests. And therefore stand up with some kind of character and then shun away money and then vote the right candidate. If we do this for the first time, that's number one. Number two, when the government is formed, it means the people there in the government know they are there on their own personal character, on their own personal standing, not because they purchase the voters. That's very, very important. So to me, it's very, very easy. I mean, here you and I, you know who the best, you know it. I mean, given the choice, when we get here, you know who can do it, who cannot do it. We know who can do it, we know who cannot do it. But then the question is, the process has been turned into kind of, it's been so monetized that, when you go to a convention, you are going to a human trade fair where you purchase human beings and purchase their votes. And by the time you follow the government, of course the government cannot function very well because the government is morally compromised. And therefore the people cannot also not say anything because they are also compromised because in election day, they get
Your Excellency.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I think we should, let's wrap up now. And if you can do this within the next 60 seconds, I'll be very glad. And the question is whether or not your party can defeat the APC. And in your mind, how would you describe the APC in the last 6+ years?
The what? How?
I'm asking if in your, the question is that I was asking if you can help me wrap up in just about 60 seconds. And this is the mention of my question to you, that Do you think that your party, PDP, can defeat the APC? And perhaps if you can describe to us how the APC has performed in the last 6+ years.
Sure, I'm not here to begin to discuss what APC did in the last 6 years. To me, they are a total failure. What they did is, you and I, check your pocket. The amount of money in your own pocket, what is the value of, in terms of what it was, 5 years ago? Tell me. Go to filling station. The amount of money you pay, per liter, is it the same thing? So these are issues which are already known by you and by everybody. Whether they have failed or they know it. I mean, I can't say why you can't even travel between Kaduna and Abuja. You can't travel. And you're asking me what they've done or have not done. Come on, Shewa. So you see, look, why? Let's have the courage to say what is right, no matter who else is God. Whatever it is, we should do the right thing. I'm asking you, check your pocket. How much do you have there now? What's the value of the naira in your pocket? Tell me. What can you buy with that naira, with your salary, compared to what it was 5 years, 6, 7 years ago? Tell me. So you are our own testimony. You can testify on our own behalf.
All right. Alhaji Sule Lamido, former Jigawa State Governor and former Minister of Foreign Affairs, thank you indeed for joining us tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, thank you very much, and good night.
Thank you so much. Bye. Apologies, we need to take another break, everyone. But when we come back, my second guest is ready for our conversation. It's going to be a short one. We'll be right back. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us right on the program. No doubt, Nigeria's ruling All Progressives Congress, APC, is in a tough time and is seeking ways to pilot its affairs through a transition and election period. Leadership headache on one hand and prosecuting an election on another hand. These are two things that are not easy at all. Not the best of times for President Buhari's political party. In the midst of all of this is a contest for the top seat of the party, and there are several names that have come up in recent weeks. One of such is Salihu Mustafa, perhaps the youngest of the lot. Salihu Mustafa was a fourth National Publicity Secretary of the Progressive Action Congress, PAC. He became a member of the ANPP and was devoted to the President Buhari ambition in 2009 when a breakaway faction of the ANPP led Muhammadu Buhari form the Congress for Progressive Change. Mustafa became the national deputy chairman of the party, held these positions until the party merged and formed the All Progressives Congress, APC. He is from Kwara State in north-central Nigeria. He contested in the 2018 Kwara State APC governorship primaries. Mr. Salihu Mustafa joins me now here in our Abuja studio. Thank you so much, Mr. Mustafa, for joining us.
It's a pleasure. Thank you very much, Joe.
You're just a few years before 50. And
I'm 50 already.
You're 50 already. Congratulations. And you wonder the problem of this party. When we look at it, you're probably one of the youngest of some of the big names that have come up. You're coming up against former governors, sitting senators. Are you intimidated at all in the race?
Well, I'm not intimidated, Joe, because for me, it's a call to serve. It's not a contest of title. When you believe you have something to offer, then you will not feel intimidated by any means or any form, especially when you know you have something to add to improve upon the value already gained. So I see it as a call to serve. And I'm hoping and I'm willing, if given the opportunity, to be able to make the younger generations proud.
If you look at the names of people that have cropped up, it does look like most of them are from the North Central. Tanko Amakura, Sani Musa, yourself, except for the likes of
George Akume.
Yeah, George Akume, except for the likes of Senator Alimodu Sharif and the likes of former Governor Yari. These are people from the northeastern region of the country. So is it agreed in the party that this position has been zoned to the North Central?
Well, it has not been officially announced or pronounced, so to say. But every party will always look at a strategy of how to win the general election. And from the way things are, there is the agitation of moving the presidency to south or to the northern part of the country. So strategically, the parties will want to, strike a balance. And that is why everybody is agitating that the North Central, which in some terms they will say middle belt. By the time you are able to have somebody to be the chairman from that zone, you've virtually compensated that zone, and then you can now have vis-a-vis anywhere you decide to look at where the votes and the numbers are coming from to push the presidency and the vice presidency there.
So let me get a few issues right, and for the benefit of our viewers, who is supporting you? Who is financially speaking?
Well, you see, that is one of the things that sometimes those at the outside, when they see the way we move and the way the campaign is gaining momentum and the trajectory at which we're moving, they wonder if I have a bank open for me to fund this. No, the campaign has taken a life of its own. And because people believe in what I say and they've seen some of the issues I've canvassed for. Because you see, it is time we come back to issues and try to also present or build a party that would outlive all of us.
So nobody is backing you financially? You don't have a single funder?
Like I said, it has taken a life of its own.
Are you a candidate or an aspirant supported by the villa?
I'm an aspirant today, and I'm hoping and I'm also praying that everybody will support me and buy into this vision of mine.
Have you consulted the villa?
I'm consulting.
Have you consulted the villa?
I
know you're making consultations,
yes,
but have you consulted the villa?
It's an ongoing process.
Have you visited the villa?
That's why I'm telling you that it's an ongoing process and I'm consulting.
Do you have the blessings of President Buhari?
President Buhari is the father of all. And if I'm not mistaken, his blessings is to all.
Do you have the blessings of the like of Lai Mohammed? He's from your state. Is he supporting you?
100%.
He's with you on this. What about the governor?
The governor is 100% supporting me, and that is why he has been very fond of me.
What do you make of what we are hearing? Senator Sani Musa is there, an anointed candidate from the villa. Tankwal Makura is going to be the consensus candidate. He's been backed by the villa. We're hearing a lot of things. You are hearing this, I'm very sure, because you are on the inside.
Well, sure. I'm hearing from you for the first time that certain aspirants have been endorsed by the villa. Naturally, everybody wants to market his or herself. And for me, as a party man, as a core party man, the most important thing is we must sit down, discuss, and look at the best available option for our party, and to also rebrand the party in such a way that the goodwill, whoever is coming on board, and the programs and the ideas and the policies and how the person is going to drive the party as a team player in the next general election matters. And that is where I am doing things differently.
So the big question is that in the scheme of things, the governors have a strong stake. The different caucuses, they have their stake.
Definitely.
And if you look at the history of the APC, the governors have dominated. Are you one person that can stand the politics of the governors when it comes to making very strong and critical decisions for the party?
Sure, it's a very easy task, and I don't know why people sometimes mention certain quarters or personalities of the party as if they are monsters. They are not. They are very good leaders in the parties, the governors. They were also individual citizens like us before they became governors.
But if you are not one of them, we
no,
understand how difficult it is to be able to administer the party without their backing.
Listen, I can assure you, first of all, I have the blessing of most of them. One. Two, the style and manner you tend to lead matters. as a team player, I don't think I will have problem with any of the governors, because the most important thing is consultation. When you sit on the head of the table and you want to take decision for everybody without consulting, without giving them a sense of belonging, without carrying them along, that is when you start having problems with not just governors, you start having problems with every other member of the party. And politics is about inclusion. You must bring about that inclusiveness of people, give them a sense of belonging, be able to, we have different peculiarities, especially in Nigeria where we come from. So you can't say what obtains in Abia State must be what obtains in Zamfara. And you see, the beauty of it again, we have a binding document. That's the constitution of the party. Consultation doesn't mean you are weak. You consult, you carry people along, and you have what they call the terms and conditions. Political party is what we call free entry and free exit. If you don't abide or you don't feel like going by the terms and conditions that binds you, then you are free to leave.
So there was Otoge, which your party used, the popular magazine that your party used, the slogan that your party used in winning the election in Kwara State. It does look like you're bringing that attitude into the national chairmanship contest in the APC. The question is, what exactly is giving you the push to wanting to become the national chairman of the APC? What are you out to achieve? Are you the radical or you are the conservative?
Well, like I said, Sheo, my campaign and my aspiration has taken a life of its own. And I'm one of the young ones that I would say have a lot to offer, because I've been in the train of this democratic experiment for some time now. I think I've learned a lot from the leaders that, the fantastic leaders that I've associated with, especially our president, President Muhammadu Buhari. There is a lot we've learned from him. I've learned a lot from other leaders who, in the course of this democratic journey, one had been privileged, like our late Prince Tony Momo, who was my immediate boss when I was the deputy national chairman. You see, it's about the style and what you intend to achieve. You see, for me...
What do you intend to achieve?
Now.
What exactly, I mean, if you have your primary goal in wanting to become chairman of the APC?
Is to make sure I lead a party that promotes internal democracy, discipline, and also to deliver on its manifestos, the dividends of democracy for the people.
So there are two questions that I would like you to answer before we close this conversation. One being the philosophy of your party. Do you understand it? Can you tell us? The party mouth that is a welfareist party. What is the philosophy of the APC?
You just said it. One, APC is a welfareist party that believes in the welfare of the common man and to also bring an equitable society.
Is it left of the center or right of the center?
It's more
political ideology.
It's more of a little bit to the left and also more of the center.
It's the left of the center,
yes.
But is your party living to that bit?
100% we are.
You don't think your party is a failure when it comes to the ideology of the left of the center?
Not at all.
Compared to the Committee of Nations, where we find political parties who are answering to those political ideologies. Do you want us to go into it?
Not at all, Shehu. You are talking more like the opposition.
No, I'm not. I'm asking you a question. I'm not judging you. I'm asking you if your party has lived up to the expectation of what the philosophy that you mouth.
We definitely have, and it's part of what we're enjoying today. You must give it to this present administration, ably led by President Muhammadu Buhari. Sometimes you don't just judge somebody based on what you see. You have to look at where we're coming from. Years before now, this country was almost compared to Venezuela. Today, there are no issues of bombings around. Today, we can say confidently, we are seeing the dividends of some of the good infrastructure being put.
Is that a sincere statement to make, Mr. Mustafa?
100% sincere.
When people are dying, as of today, there are reports of deaths. People are being kidnapped.
Listen, Shehu.
A university professor today was reported to have been kidnapped.
Let me quickly
in Kaduna State, in Zamfara State.
Let me quickly enlighten you on something.
Is that a sincere statement to make when compared to the promise that your party made to Nigerians when you talk about security in this manner?
Listen, Shehu, let me quickly enlighten you on one or two important points to note. Nobody should toy with the security of the lives and property of any nation, and we must not politicize it. I always run away from having this kind of issues to be politicized, because all over the world, it's a global issue. Security matters security matters are what concerns everybody. We must not say because it is APC that is on today, so let's laugh at them and let's always pick holes in whatever they do. If it doesn't affect Mr. A, it affects Mr. B. And in one way or the other, we are all related.
So when the conversation around security is being mentioned, you say that it is politicized. So you want people to keep quiet and not talk about it. We're talking about it because people's lives are involved, people are dying. And it's because your party promised Nigerians that it's going to fix it. And that's why we're asking.
And we are.
If you are going to be the national chairman of the APC,
it's work in progress. It's work in progress.
Can't we hold you up to that statement?
Definitely. In fact, listen, it's work in progress, and we are doing our best based on the circumstances we find ourselves. And I must let you know, I want to lead a party that will first of all call its memberships to account for their stewardship even before the general public. So we are coming in, if given the opportunity, to lead the party as a party that will first of all call its members, the senators, the governors, even the presidency at that time, to say, please, sir, we promised the people X, Y, Z. Let's live up to this.
Are you able to go to the Nigerian people in this coming election to tell them that all those things that we promised you, we may not be able to have achieved it, but give us another chance? Is that how you're going to tell Nigerians?
We have achieved a lot, and we'll present our scorecard on what we have achieved.
You think that is enough for Nigerians to vote for your party?
Nigerians will decide, because the Nigerians who know what we've achieved, look at the Anchor Borrower program, look at how the farmers today are all laughing to the banks. Look at the...
Why are the figures against your party's performance?
No,
the indices are against your party's performance.
No, not at all. That is
we will not have time to list all of those. But if you get into those figures, you're perhaps not going to be happy yourself by it.
I can assure you, Sheon, when you bring out the indices on the economic side, we're doing very well.
The PDP is threatening that it will take out your party.
I don't think Nigerians will trust the confidence or will repose the confidence to PDP again to lead us.
Mr. Saliu Mustafa, I wish you the very best in this contest of wanting to become the national chairman of the APC. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's a pleasure, Sean.
Well, that's our show for tonight, everyone. Many thanks for watching. I'm Sean Okimale. Bye for now.